Here is the latest from K2 Radio News.
One person was killed and another was injured in a single vehicle rollover crash in Cheyenne on Wednesday. It happened about 2:09 p.m. at the Interstate 25 and Interstate 80 exchange. According to a preliminary Wyoming Highway Patrol crash summary, the driver of a Ford Ranger had just exited I-25 to merge onto I-80 eastbound when they drifted off the roadway to the left, overcorrected, and went off the right side of the road, then overcorrected again, causing the pickup to spin counterclockwise, trip, and roll one more complete time. The crash left the driver injured and their unbuckled passenger, 65-year-old Colorado resident Wright Thomas, dead. The summary lists speed as a possible contributing factor. This is the 23rd reported fatality on Wyoming's highways so far this year. Of those fatalities, 4 have died in crashes in Laramie County. Sadly, it was just 2 weeks ago that a 13-year-old Nebraskan lost her life in a rollover crash on I-25 in Cheyenne after the pickup she was riding in spun out on an icy bridge near the Lincoln Way Drive exit, went off the interstate, and rolled multiple times down a steep embankment. The U.S. Justice Department has partnered with the federal government, as well as people throughout American Indian and Alaska Native communities, in recognizing May 5th as National Missing or Murdered Indigenous Persons Awareness Day. Attorney General Merrick Garland says they will bolster efforts to tackle violent crimes and other pressing public safety challenges, like the fentanyl crisis, which have negatively affected Native Americans, exacerbating violence and addiction in already vulnerable communities. Since 1995, the U.S. Justice Department Attorney's Office has had a branch dedicated to serving the reservation, which used to include 3 federal prosecutors and a paralegal. Recently, they added a 4th prosecutor to what they call the Indian Country Prosecution Team. Garland says there is still so much more to do in the face of persistently high levels of violence that tribal communities have endured for generations, and that women and girls particularly have endured. Casper's local radio legends, Donovan Short, will be inducted into the Wyoming Association of Broadcasters Hall of Fame class on June 8th. He accepted a morning host and program director job in Casper in 1998. He quickly rose to the top of Casper's Arbitron ratings, and when Clear Channel took over the Mountain State stations, Short remained to manage the programming department for over 20 years. The stations eventually were owned by Town Square Media. Here's a little message from one of Donovan's co-workers and also a radio legend, Bob Price.
You know, he started in radio at age 11, so there was no question what his career was going to be. When we first started to work together years ago, our relationship was not a very good one. But as time ensued, we became very close. And he is a brilliant programmer, one of the best program directors in the nation. Not just saying that, he was voted that by his peers, not just once, but a number of times. He found here, coming to Casper from down south, the love of his wife, the love of his life, Tara, and he has a beautiful little girl by the name of Dara. And that's his reward for being involved in broadcasting in Wyoming.
Average gas prices in the Cowboy State are up last week, averaging $3.27 a gallon today. That's according to Gas Buddy's survey of nearly 500 stations in Wyoming. The cheapest station in Natrona County as of this morning was $2.80 a gallon at the Exxon at 400 Valley Drive in Casper, followed by the Shell on Dennis Drive at $2.87 a gallon. That's compared to the national average price of gas at $3.62 a gallon, while the national average price of diesel has dropped 3 cents and stands at $3.94. Petroleum analyst Patrick DeHaan expects gas prices to go down as we look forward to the weekend. Reporting in Casper, I'm Colby